Today I'm in the house with a relatively unknown fragrance house. With my fragrance collecting, I tend to stay faithful to certain fragrance houses. I will naturally gravitate towards houses that I enjoy. That's why you'll see I have quite a few Creeds, Acqua di Parmas, Xerjoffs, Amouages, Tom Fords, Dior's, Chanel's, and of course Mugler. But once in a while I stumble across some hidden gems in the fragrance world. The house I'm going to discuss today was news to me, but it probably won't be news to my audience in India. I want to give a huge shout out to MrOz for generously donating these fragrances to me because he just wanted to know my opinion on them. Oswald is a gem in this fragrance community, so if you haven't checked out his channel or seen his reviews, you're really doing yourself a disservice because he is one of my favorite reviewers by far. The man has crazy knowledge and a great personality, and his generosity is exemplified by these 3 bottles right here. The house I'm going to talk about today is Attar Abdul Rashid from Mumbai. As far as I know, this is a family-owned business. It is a very small company, but not only do they make these eau de parfum concentration fragrances, they also make attars, oils. I believe they also sell raw materials. You can get real agarwood from them. Really, for the Western market, no one's heard of these guys. The 3 fragrances I have here are Oud Saffron, Oud Afghano, and Oud Armani. So I just quickly want to go through these fragrances and tell you what I think of them. Starting with Oud Saffron. Could it be Oud and Saffron? It's Middle Eastern in style, but still wearable. The opening has a fairly medicinal, heavy oud, but within half an hour, it becomes quite resinous. A lot of amber comes out, which you can kind of get from the color of the liquid itself, and it really smooths out the fragrance. The dry down has a slight floriental flair to it, a little bit powdery on my skin as well. It's not quite your traditional heavy-handed oud rose combination or even oud patchouli. It's more so about oud and amber to my nose. This is crazy to say, but I can honestly see this inside a Xerjoff Oud Stars bottle. Oh yeah, and it lasts about 14 hours on my skin. The next one I want to talk about is Oud Afghano. Oud Afghano is an interesting one to me because don't necessarily smell a ton of oud in this. This is an incredibly woody fragrance for sure. It is very, very woody, and there is a pretty clear smokiness too. You may naturally draw a comparison to Black Afghano based on the name, but Black Afghano is known for its oud, incense, and cannabis note. But Oud Afghano to my nose is more cedar, tobacco. It's a dry, woody tobacco fragrance to my nose. When I first wore this, I thought to myself, okay, maybe it's Black Afghano mixed with Harriet. If this was in a more mainstream fragrance bottle, I could see it in a Tom Ford private blend. This one is extremely masculine and performs even better than Oud Saffron. This has lasted me 24 hours on my skin, and I was happy about it because I really like the smell. The 3rd and final fragrance from the house I want to talk about is Oud Armani. What Armani does this most smell like to me? If I had to pick, I would probably say Acqua di Essenza. The opening has a very strong citrus quality to it. There's lemon and lime working together, but in the background there's a little bit of a birchy vibe, perhaps a bit of oak moss, and those notes get stronger and stronger in the dry down until it dries down to none other than Aventus. Oud Armani has an Aventus dry down, but it starts off with an unusually authentic citrus quality. You expect it to go towards Eau Sauvage territory, but then it just takes a right turn and heads right down to the King territory. Oud Armani, like Aventus, is eau de parfum concentration, so it's going to last just as long as the original, but what's nice is it has that evolution. It's multi-dimensional. It starts off like a classic cologne and ends up like a modern classic, which is Aventus. So overall, guys, I have been blown away by the quality of these fragrances. They are all masterfully put together. And if you do stumble across them on the streets of Mumbai, I would say go get them. For 100 ml, retails for about 30 bucks, which means for the same price you can get 1 liter of Oud Afghano or 50 milliliters of Tom Ford Tobacco Oud. Let's be clear here. These are not clones of any fragrances. They do have some similarities, especially Oud Armani, but they're standalone and their quality is really, really top tier. Which kind of makes you think, if you can put together something this good for this cheap, are the Rose Doves really worth the price? And I guess Xerjov's too, but I'm a Xerjov fanboy, so... awkward. But this was just all my opinion. Get your own. So this is basically Club de Nuit Intense Ascenso. If you want to check out more videos, check them out all over there, dudes. Peace.